When your child acts like separation is a serious crime, what are we to do? Separation seems a sad crime. Let's talk about separation anxiety. When does it happen? What to expect? And what the heck do we do with this terrible thing that just interrupted all the great things that we were doing with our babies' schedules? Okay, so to start it off, there are three major times when separation anxiety happens. That is between 6 and 9 months when object permanence becomes a thing, between 12 and 18 months, and then again around 2 to 3 years old. The toddler times are both times where your child is becoming more aware. They are learning that they are their own person, you are your own person, and that you can separate from each other. And around 2 or 3 years old is when they start developing an imagination and that they may just not be very happy about the separation in general. This can affect many aspects of your life, including separation at daycare or just leaving your child with a family member, or separation anxiety can affect your child sleeping overnight, and it can also affect if you just want to leave the freaking room for 2 seconds and go in the kitchen. So what are we going to do to get through this big hurdle? There are 6 things that I'm going to tell you about in this video, and the first thing is going to be practice. Practice leaving your child. Leave the room for 5 minutes and then come back. Easy as that. Except it might not be easy for your child. What you want to make sure that you do is tell your child, mommy's going potty and I want privacy. Go to the bathroom for 5 minutes. I don't care if you're really going to the bathroom or if you're scrolling TikTok, or maybe you're having some secret chocolatey snack that you don't want to share with your child. Go do it and continue doing it until it's been 3 to 5 minutes, and then you go back to your child and say, oh my gosh, I'm back, I miss you, yay, here I am. And just as much as going back to your child is exciting, it is also important to have a goodbye ritual routine. So this is tip number 2, making sure that you have a specific routine that you do every single time that you leave your child. Let's use the example of dropping your kid off at daycare. This is where a lot of separation anxiety can come into play. When you have to leave, it is so important to actually leave. Don't linger. You have to go. And honestly, if you're going to a corporate job and your boss is waiting for you, you can't just walk in and be like, my kid has separation anxiety and I had to stay and wait. Just go, okay? But before you go, you should have a specific routine that you do with your kid. Now, I was a preschool teacher. I've seen many families go through this. The parents who linger, the kid always cries longer and harder, and it ruins their day. The parents who actually have a good routine when they leave, those kids bounce back faster than it takes the parent to get to their car in the parking lot. And that brings me to the next point of your routine when you bring your kid to daycare. So let's say, for example, you need to stop in the daycare kitchen and put your kids' lunch in the fridge. Do that with them first. Head to the classroom, put their stuff in their cubby. Go to a center or the table or a spot in the classroom with your child. Let them pick. Where do you want to start today? Once your child chooses a spot, and this child I'm talking about is probably 2 or 3 years old, but you want to let them choose where they go if they are verbal enough to do that. If they're not and they're just like that 6 to 9 month old age range, it's best to just give your hugs and kisses and say goodbye and go. But when you have an older child who can actually make those decisions and decide what they want to do or play with, you can play with them for 5 minutes. If you have that amount of time, maybe you only have 2 minutes or 3 minutes, set your timer. I'm sure you have your cell phone on you. Set the timer on your phone and say, okay, I can play with you here for 3 minutes, and then daddy's got to go to work. Once the timer is up, have hugs and kisses and then go. I was lucky enough, and I will never ever forget this child, but she always would go to the window, and our window was parking lot facing, and she would cry as soon as her dad left, and then we would run to the window and we would race to the window to beat daddy to the car, and before he even got to the car, she would be smiling and waving at the window. Making sure that you have those kinds of routines is amazing. And not only that, and I know like daycares are all about technology now, and maybe they're like sending you pictures and messages throughout the day, but ask them if they can send you a picture of your child being happy, or let you know how long did it take them to bounce back and get distracted and feel better after I left. Just communicate with them, and I'm sure they will tell you. But I always loved that I could have the child waving in the window and like showing the parents like they're happy, they're safe, they're loved, like these are my babies too. And so being able to do that is a great situation. Number 3 is to use visual cues and or social stories. Now, if you saw this video a couple weeks ago, then you know all about social stories helping with transitions. If you haven't watched that video yet, then finish this video and then go watch that video, because I always recommend using social stories with toddlers anytime they are doing something new, anytime they're doing something hard. It is going to help them understand cognitively what is going on, and it will help them get over the hurdle of whatever struggle they're facing emotionally. Now, physically, if you use visual routine cards, and I've used these with my kids up until they were in school, which is where they're at now, and I can see my kid playing outside because the school's right behind our house. So I'm like, hi, honey. They're so stinking cute though. Anyways, visual cues are great for if you're at home and your kid is having a hard time with separation anxiety at bedtime. You want to use bedtime routine cards that are also, I'll link those in my description box down below, as well as my templates for social stories. So those are 2 things you definitely want to get after this video. Download the bedtime routine cards, which is also going to come with bonus morning routine cards, and you can get some social story templates for whatever separation anxiety stage that your child is going through. And there are several templates in my store that you can check out. Anyways, the visual cues that show your child, we brushed your teeth, we read some books, we got your pajamas on, we had our cuddle time, we had that special time together, so now it's time to go to bed. And then actually putting them in bed and leaving the room. And when you do leave the room, have a plan. What are you gonna do if your child gets up and follows you out of the room? What are you gonna do if your child cries? You need to have a plan, and you need to be consistent. If you are really struggling with this, it's been more than 2 to 3 weeks, and your child is not making any progress, then you should book a consultation. I can help you get through this, and we will make sure that everybody is back on the sleeping train and making sure that your child is getting the sleep they need, and also the love and affection and attention that they need, because we're gonna build it into their bedtime routine. Tip number 4 is something that I've been saying throughout this entire video, but go, stay gone. Do not come back in and assume, and I'm specifically talking about school. So when there is another adult that is taking care of your child, another adult that is responsible for your child's needs, if you're dropping your child off at school, then you need to drop them off and go. I know it is so hard to hear your kids cry. I know it is hard to close the door and walk past and hear your child crying and feeling completely helpless. But at that point, and this is going to sound a little harsh, but it's not your responsibility. It's your child's teacher's responsibility. And as long as your child is in a place where you trust them and you know that they love your children, then you know that it's okay and they're going to be fine. If they're not fine, daycare will call you. I would say 9 times out of 10 in all of my years of educating, and I've literally been an educator since I was 12 years old, literally teaching dance classes at 12 years old. I had one crier who just sat in the back of the room and cried the entire time at my dance classes, and I had one student in preschool who just wasn't quite ready for it yet, and that's okay. And that's out of hundreds of students that I've taught in my day. If they need you, they will call, but you need to go and stay gone, because the more you come back, the more you're starting back at square one, and then you leave again, and it's just go and come and go, and your kid doesn't know what to expect. Okay, so when they don't know what to expect, and then they're like, I'm just gonna keep being upset because I don't know what's going on. I don't know if mommy and daddy are staying or going, or if they're gonna come back, or when they're gonna come back, or all these things. If it's time to go, then it's time to go. And we'll talk about that in a later tip about how to help your child come to terms with the fact that you're leaving. But let's jump into the next tip, which is to give your child a comfort item and or a distraction. So in the event that your child is having separation anxiety at bedtime, you want to give your child their favorite stuffed animal, or heck, if they're a toddler, let them sleep with their favorite toy that doesn't make noise. If it's a race car, let them sleep with the dang race car. It's fine. Unless it is a huge distraction that's keeping your kid up all night long that they keep playing with it, then just let them have it. And if they do continue playing with it all night long, then you use it as leverage and say, okay, if you're gonna keep playing with that race car, I'm gonna have to take it away, but I know you like sleeping with it and you feel comfy and cozy with your race car. So I don't wanna take it away, but if I have to, I will. One thing that I love doing is building into the bedtime routine a photo album of your family so that when your child is dealing with separation anxiety, they can look at pictures of your family. This doesn't mean to go scrolling through your phone and looking at all your pictures together. It means an actual book, okay? You don't want to give your kids screen time, especially before bed. And honestly, under 3 to 5 years old, your kids don't need screen time at all anyway. Something really special that I like to do with my clients is to make a mommy bear or a daddy bear, whether you get a new teddy bear or whatever stuffed animal, or if it's something that you already have, that your child already has an attachment to, that's even better. But what I like to do is have the parents dress that bear in a shirt that has the scent of the parent on it. So yes, it will be a dirty shirt, but it will have your scent on it, and your child can snuggle up with that when they go to sleep at night and feel closer to you. And you can let them know, if you miss me, hug your mommy bear, hug your daddy bear, and it's like I'm right there. Tip number 5 is to validate your child's feelings. Say, I know you don't want me to go. I know you miss me when I go, and you're a big kid and I know you can do this. Obviously, this is for those 2 to 3-year-old toddlers. For your 6 to 9 months old, you can tell them anything you want to tell them. I understand, little tiny baby, that you don't want me to go and it's time to go to bed. With the younger babies, you can definitely be more matter of fact, and with the older toddlers, you do want to explain things to them. You don't want to just disappear and be gone. So with the younger babies who are just developing that object permanence, it is so much easier on the child to just leave and go and then come back when you can come back and be fully present. With the older kids, it is so much better to tell them, I have to go to work now, you're gonna stay here with Miss Kiki, and I will come back and get you when you are doing outside playtime after nap. If your child has a daycare center with very specific schedules and they're very consistent, which I really hope they do because every child needs that kind of consistency in their lives, but if you know that after nap your kids have a snack, they go to the bathroom, they line up, they go outside to play, and you know that every day you come and get them while they're outside playing, then you can tell them, you're gonna have so much fun at school today. You will tell your child these things. You will validate their feelings. You will say, I understand that you're gonna miss me. I know it's really hard, and I know you can do it. And I will be back after nap, after snack, while you're playing outside. Letting your child know and giving them that predictability of when you're going to be back is definitely going to help with their separation anxiety. Another time that is not a predictable time that separation anxiety might occur, in the sense of I can tell you exactly when this is going to happen, but you will know that this might happen when you're going through a major life change. If you're moving to a new house, your kid might get separation anxiety because it's something totally new and they're just unsure. And maybe they don't want to be left alone in their new bedroom that is scary to them. And maybe it's bigger, maybe it's a different color, maybe their furniture is in a different place, but they might get separation anxiety if they're going through a major life change. Just remember that when these changes are happening, it's a temporary regression, especially if you're dealing with that bedtime separation anxiety and you're going through one of these big major life changes. It's okay to give your child a little bit of extra comfort at bedtime and have it built into the bedtime routine. But if you get stuck in that place of, I have to lay with my kid until they fall asleep at bedtime and then they come into my bed at midnight and I just let them stay because it's just so much easier than getting out of bed and bringing them back to their bed, but I can't keep doing this, then you're going to be in a tougher spot than if you were to just stay consistent with your boundaries from the very beginning. And that's another time where you can let your child know, I know this is different, I know this is new, and we're gonna get used to it together. You can tell them how you're gonna help them, and you can tell them, okay, now it's time for you to sleep in your own big kid bed by yourself in this room, and I will see you in the morning. Just know that separation anxiety comes in waves, and it's gonna ebb and flow, and it's gonna be bad and it's gonna be good, and then your child will be perfectly fine. Remember that separation anxiety is a sign of a healthy attachment. So your child knows you, they love you, they know that you're going to be there for them, and they want you to be there, and that is completely normal. It's completely healthy, and the best thing that you can do is provide consistency for them. Give them the love and affection and attention that they need. Give them the reassurance. Give them that affection and letting them know, I know this is hard and you can do it. Because otherwise, we're just putting our kids in this box of, oh, you don't want to go to preschool because you might miss me? Okay, fine. We'll just stay home for another year. But maybe your child really needs and craves that social interaction. So, of course, you know your child best. But I really hope this video was helpful. If you need one-on-one help getting your kids' sleep back on track after separation anxiety regression, then get in touch with me. Check out this video over here for more sleep regression tips and keep blooming. Mwah.